Stop! You've made it to Astronauts Without Helmets. I'm Kevin, and this is PJ. Today we're going to be going over different random conspiracy theories. I know I'm going to be talking about the Loch Ness Monster for probably a little bit. I got some good theories about that. I got some good theories about birds and HAARP. I don't know. You got any?
I'll be in on the birds one. I got some Pokemon ones, and I got some presidential ones I don't have a bunch of info on, but I've heard of that I think are good. So
Yeah, I know the Pokemon one, basically like in any cartoon, it just ends up boiling down to all the kids are dead.
Yeah.
It's like everything is just dead Pokemon theory or dead cartoon theory. But I wanted to start with the Loch Ness Monster, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I got my phone out, and it's hiding behind the stop sign. So if it looks like I'm peering into my crotch, that's why. But, so, there is a story that the Loch Ness Monster that we all know as Nessie is, it's rumored to be a Paleosaurus dinosaur or whatever that's been living in the Loch Ness Monster for, a really long time. But in reality, I think that this thing is actually a nuclear sonar sub put in the Cold War to detect different radio frequencies and travel logs. And because of this, I've done some research, right? So I'm going to start reading some of these things. I'm just going to read chunk by chunk, and if you want me to elaborate, we'll go from there.
Okay.
So there's the official story, right? The Loch Ness Monster is officially described as a century-old cryptid of Scottish folklore. But according to declassified scraps and long-buried memos, we've discovered that since the 1930s, that these monster sightings aren't actually an animal at all. They're an experimental Cold War sonar platform built to spy on Soviet subs moving through the North Atlantic.
Interesting. So they put a sub in the lake?
Yes. So in 1958, there was a joint UK and US project, which was called Operation Kelpie, Kelpie. The mission was to develop a passive sonar buoy that could stay hidden in deep, thermally stable body of water while scanning for Soviet undersea activity.
I mean, that would make sense because they say that lake's really deep too,
That
correct?
lake is really deep. It is up to 755 feet, and for all the folks or the one person who might be watching this in the rest of the world, in non-freedom units, that's 230 meters.
We don't believe in this.
It's also a very long and narrow channel, so it's really easy to control access to. It has high peak content and murky waters, which can mask any of the odd shapes. They designed it in a way so that it would vaguely look like a giant Paleosaurus dinosaur, even down to the neck of the periscope looking like, long neck fucking dinosaur.
That's crazy.
So basically the idea was that if civilians ever saw it, they would just classify it as the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not saying the Loch Ness Monster wasn't a real folklore. I'm just saying that we created this using Operation Kelpie to basically
That's crazy.
to use this as like, no, it's just the Loch Ness Monster, guys. Yeah. When in reality, we're using it to spy on the Soviets. So in 1960, Tim Dinsdale filmed the grainy footage of the humpback crossing the Loch.
Also known as the owner of Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Dinsdale, yeah. And ironically enough, in the 1960s, when Operation Kelpie was kind of at its highest, so we used. Well, where is it? All right, I got my notes right here. So
to interrupt for a sec, Noah, can you pull up and see like when most of the sightings of the Loch Ness Monster were?
Yeah, they started in 500 AD. From what I saw.
We looked this up just a minute ago. Apparently, the oldest sighting of the Loch Ness Monster was 500 AD.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
I'm assuming that's where those like ancient lore things kind of started. Dude, this stop sign is hard as fuck to hold.
Yeah, August 22nd, 565 AD.
Wow. So if you go to the 60s where this is supposedly put in, are there more sightings in the 60s than other years?
Let's see. Go to sciencefocus.com, surely.
Looks reputable.
Privacy.
I mean, that looks like it's from the 1960s if I ever heard. 1916 to 2001. Bernard. Well, I can't read that last name.
They were just writing...
Dimsdale. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right?
That's crazy.
So So the famous 1960 Tim Dinsdale filmed the grainy footage of a humpback crossing the loch, lined up eerily with the testing window of Kelpie. Retired RAF ground crew have claimed that they have ferried crates marked hydrophone and acoustic decoy to Inverness. I don't even know what the fuck that was. Under armed guard.
Huh.
I'm assuming Inverness is probably like the area or something. I
Right.
don't fucking know. But yeah, so according to the legend, the array could sit neutrally buoyant near the thermocline of the Oh my god. So according to the legend, they sit neutrally buoyant near the thermocline and listen to North Sea and North Atlantic travel via the underground water channels.
That's
so
crazy.
They're shooting off sonar sounds underneath to be able to spy through the channels to see what's coming out on the other side, basically.
Wow.
And then its neck is not only a periscope, but it surfaces to transmit bursts of encrypted data to overflying RAF Nimrod patrol aircrafts. So basically, all these monster sightings that we've ever seen in the Loch Ness, probably up until like the early 60s, were most likely real. And then past the 60s, I'm assuming Nessie kind of turned down and we just started seeing way more sightings because it was this submersible craft. So by the early 1970s, we developed newer satellites and deep sea listening posts, which made Kelpie obsolete. So officially the equipment was removed, but there's still a story that there's still a mini nuclear powered submersible designed to reposition the array that had ended up malfunctioning and was basically just scooted into a trench in the middle of the lake. Which is why when they do sonar stuff down there, they can sometimes see what appears to be a Loch Ness fucking monster.
That's crazy.
So, let's see. Where else are we? So, when you do sonar surveys, you'll hear an unexplained metallic echo exactly in that region, and they're normally attributed to being sunken geological formations or sunken boats, or things like that. There was a retired Navy diver who gave an interview under a pseudonym who have claimed to see a rusting fin tubed with a giant rubber tail. So, if it's a natural made object, as in like it's a mammal or a dinosaur, it's not going to rust.
No.
And so, the reason why we are feeling like this is that every time someone tries to take a high resolution sonar scan from the loch, the permission from all environmental agencies is mysteriously delayed. Nessie sightings tend to spike after NATO exercises in the North Atlantic. And there's old workers at nearby bases still refer to back in the day they had to feed the Kelpie, which some people believe was just a slang for topping up the submersible's small nuclear.
Right.
So basically it just boils down to the fact that all these monster sightings from the 60s are actually not a prehistoric, paleohistoric
that was kind of
fucking
advanced.
monster begging for 350. It is actually a UK-US joint operation to spy on the Soviets.
That's crazy.
And that is my conspiracy theory about the Loch Ness monster.
It would make sense.
I don't know, Kevin. I'm seeing here that CERN activated the particle accelerator July 1st, 1953. So I think we had a paradigm shift. The Loch Ness Monster was, in fact, real. But after the particle accelerator was activated by CERN, we shifted paradigms.
We entered the opposite timeline.
Where now this Loch Ness Monster is essentially used as a way to spy on the Soviets.
That would make total sense.
That's crazy. It would make sense.
Yeah. So that's my Loch Ness Loch Ness Monster conspiracy theory. I don't think it's sound, but boy, oh boy, does it sound good.
That's crazy.
Fuck. But yeah, I don't really know much to say to that. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. Yeah. I would be willing to discuss and we can elaborate further. Do your own research.
Yes.
Never believe everything you hear on the internet. 99% of all statistics are made up and half of those are wrong.
Speaking of everything we've heard on the internet, I heard that George Washington Carver,
the creator of peanut butter,
it was actually the 5th president, I believe it is.
Okay.
Or no, not the 5th president.
We're starting off to a bad start.
Look,
here.
Man, I believe things I read on the internet. He was actually Abe Lincoln, and Abe Lincoln was actually black.
I vaguely remember hearing something about this, right?
I don't remember where I heard it, but I remember hearing it or watching it or whatever. And they were deep diving because their facial features were really similar. Their hair was similar because he had curly, like a top hat type of hair.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Beard.
Can we look up George Washington Carver and Abraham Lincoln combined conspiracy or something along them lines? Because I vaguely remember hearing something about this. Something about George Washington Carver not being the person who everyone says he is, saying that he was actually way more important in American history.
Because I also heard that they were saying that
George Washington Carver was born in 1964. Abe Lincoln was born in 1809.
So when did Lincoln die?
Well, it doesn't really matter. There's 60 years apart. Lincoln was dead.
When did Lincoln die?
Lincoln was dead in 1965.
But Carver was born in 1964?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how would he be Lincoln for a year?
You think he's born and they're like, yeah, that's Lincoln.
Show me a baby picture.
It was 1864. They
Show
didn't
me
have
a baby
fucking
picture.
cameras.
That's what I'm getting at.
He's trying to say that George Washington Carver, as a 1-year-old child, was Abraham Lincoln as a fucking 45-year-old man.
56-year-old man.
56-year-old man.
If there's no baby photos, how do they know?
Because he was a baby.
He was just born fucking 6'4" with a fucking
Okay. Here's how. Because
hold on, maybe
he died in 1940.
Maybe
You think Abe Lincoln lived for 140 years?
What's the longest someone lived?
it's not impossible.
I think it's like 110 or 120 or something
Now
like
it's
that.
140.
120.
That's a long fucking time.
It's possible, man.
No, it's not. You're literally showing right here this is not possible because they lived 120, not 140.
Never know.
Yeah, but there wasn't documents. The internet only wants you to know what the deep state wants you to know, man.
Exactly.
You're saying that George Washington that we already had multiple presidents after Abe Lincoln. So how was he?
Okay, well, let's stay away from him being Abraham Lincoln. Look up conspiracies with George Washington Carver, because I know there's one.
Yeah, one of them has to do with peanut butter. There's another one.
No,
too,
that's American Dad.
Are you sure?
The Illuminati. He was the creator of peanut butter. But
I looked this up. American Dad comes up. So
the one with peanut butter is American Dad. But there is actually like a real conspiracy theory.
The conspiracies are like, did he create Whole Foods? No.
No. Oh man. Yeah. Maybe the internet's a bunch of liars, PJ. Maybe I have to rethink all of my thoughts of all my life.
You sure it was George Washington Carver?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Maybe it was just George Washington.
No, because I think the time zones are different.
What does that have to do with the time zones?
That almost flew by me.
Time period, time zone.
You know, he's in
the time periods are different no matter which.
It's 100 years.
Yeah, it's 100. Sorry, it's 50 years for Carver.
Okay, so who was the president in 64 or whatever? Or not 64, but who was president while George Carver was alive? There's going to be like 8 of them.
Let's check.
Abraham Lincoln.
What do they say?
Let's see. 1864.
George Washington Carver is Abraham Lincoln.
You know that Abraham Lincoln was actually a homosexual? Have you heard that one? That's another one that I think comes from the internet, but I think that one might actually have background. Again, I could just be spitting fucking nonsense. Look, yeah, Abraham Lincoln, gay.
It's maybe 2003 again.
Yeah, maybe don't word it like that, but
Abraham Lincoln gay ?
Yeah, something about how
the
like
sexuality of Abraham Lincoln.
Wikipedia, fuck yeah. Because I remember something about like reading like he had like men's club wasn't all the time, and like he never really talked or hung out with his wife ever or at all.
But back then it wasn't cool to hang out with your wife. They were just objects.
Mary Todd was fucking psychotic.
He had 4 kids.
Like Mary Todd was literally a like crazy person.
Really?
Yes. Like famously. Not like but like the I see ghosts kind of crazy person or some shit like that.
Same.
Dude, this is not gay at all. Abraham Lincoln lived with his best friend Joshua Speed, and they slept in the same bed for 4 years together.
Yes.
As friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, as finger in the butt friends.
Times are tough back then. If my best friend's the president and he's got a nice ass mattress and it's 1860, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you mind if I sleep there instead of on my wooden cot?
Over your wife? I don't know. Even if your wife
sit on your wooden cock instead of my wooden cock.
Listen, Mary Todd Lincoln had some issues. All right.
Yes. Yeah, she was fucking insane. She was a loon in the nicest way possible.
That's wild.
Sometimes you just need to seek the comfort of your best friend. Like, think about this. When you're dating a woman, there's all these issues of like, why don't you pay attention to me? You didn't notice I changed your hair. With dudes, it's like, you could just suck off your homie and go play Xbox.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what's not to want about that?
I got here, Lincoln wrote a poem that described a marriage between two men, which included the lines, for Reuben and Charles have married 2 girls, but Billy has married a boy. The girls he had tried on every side, but none he could get to agree. All was in vain. He went home again, since he's married to Natty. They say this is...
Dude, no, that's straight up. That's a confession.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln's Billy and Natty is Mary Todd. Oh, everyone has a husband and wives. Everyone has some husbands and wives, but Billy likes boys, but Billy's married to Natty, so he just goes home because none of the girls want him.
I don't know, man. He's got 4 kids.
So does Ashton Kutcher.
What does that mean?
Is Ashton Kutcher gay?
No, that was always the joke, is that Ashton Kutcher was gay and he's married to Mila Kunis as a diversion.
I never heard
Imagine that kind of diversion.
That's a sexy diversion.
That's crazy. I think that would have been like conversion therapy for him to marry Mila Kunis. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm back to females again, guys. This one pretty fucking nice. Turns out some buttholes can just be tight. Oh man, I'm sorry if I offend anyone.
Her front butt's nicer than the back butt.
You're telling me you have 3 holes? What is this? Oh man.
You know, another one I saw that I heard got confirmed finally was that JFK was actually an inside shot.
I heard they
didn't even
released
get
more
confirmed. What are you talking
I heard
about?
they released more stuff, but I don't think it was ever confirmed.
Oh, really?
Confirmed.
No, it was confirmed they knew about the guy who did it.
Yeah.
Right? One of his compatriots or whatever was an actual Soviet spy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look into fucking Lee Harvey Oswald, like he literally went and defected to fucking Moscow, married a Russian woman, came back to America, hung out with Russians and communists, and then decided to go do his thing.
Yeah.
Like he was heavily influenced, and they have all of the documents showing all of his relations and all of his connections.
When they re-released everything, it was literally like, all right, here's what he does every single day.
Right.
Here's when he's going to Moscow. He has a wife. Here's when he comes back. This is where he lives now. This is everything he does. This is everything that's in his house. Right? They knew every single thing about him, but just didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, and I don't know if we can put this on here, but I bet you that's what happened in the most recent assassination. But anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is for all these, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. It's a lot easier to look back and be like, oh, well, look, we did have all this stuff about this guy. If only we did something.
Well, you see all the different things coming out of, look at this guy over here and there's a muzzle flash. Look at this guy over here, there's a muzzle flash.
So one thing people don't understand is like when you take an image and you upload it to the internet, there's this thing called compression, and that basically just shrinks all the data and makes it as small and clear as it possibly can. During that compression, you're going to have something called artifacting, which you're going to see things like random lights, things moving into other things and all that stuff, which is why like it's almost a detriment to have this much actual like amateur coverage.
Well, and how much you can do on a computer now to make things look like they aren't.
I mean, that's fair too. Yeah.
Thank God for metadata.
Yep, exactly. The metadata. So it's like you can see all that shit and it look fake. You know, if you see like something that looks like it has an extra hand, or there's like a weird light where it shouldn't be, or there's a weird tear, or oh, this looks like an object has an extra leg or something. It's like all that can be easily explained just by how the process of uploading videos to the internet works. Right. But my whole point of that tangent was back in the day when you only had like the hard film, and it was basically just they take the raw film and they fucking find a way to transmit it.
Yeah.
Like, it's way more trustworthy because now you have like 100 angles, 100 different things, 100 people speculating on every individual angle of everything that happens. And basically my feel is like it ends up clouding the actual discussion because everyone's so focused on the extremes and, you know, not leaving it to professionals who know what they're doing.
You know what I
That's
did
fair.
see was that Lee Harvey Oswald could be an alien.
Oh, fuck. Yeah?
I don't know if you guys saw that one.
No.
They loosely linked it to a time where JFK was sealing or threatening to release UFO information.
Yeah.
And then in that time, Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated him. So people were like, hold on, wait a second. And then apparently he was also tied into some loose Russian UFO research.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that one. That one's pretty fucking crazy.
Hey man, I recently played Fallout 3. It's seeming pretty likely now.
I do know that there's a I don't know if this is an actual conspiracy or if this is just a conspiracy that I came up with when I was younger, but so there Roswell was like the first like super main reported alien fucking like thing that I remember, right? They crash landed. So I feel like when we recovered their shit, we back engineered all their stuff and we went from not being able to fly to having like the most rudimentary planes from the Wright brothers to fucking fighter planes basically by World War II.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
The invention of flight was in what, the 40s?
Let's see.
So it's like if the invention of flight's in the 40s.
Flight was invented December 17th, 1903.
1903. We went to World War I was in what, the 20s?
Yeah, I think.
Yep.
World War II was in the 40s. We
Late
went to the
30s,
moon in the 50s or 60s.
Fake, by the way.
Supposedly.
So you're telling me in like 60 years we went from having a bicycle with like 10 fucking wings attached to
A
it?
10-foot tall wheel and a 3-inch wheel.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that was the Wright brothers, but all the way to like flying people to the fucking moon. No, it's called we started trading our humans and letting aliens study our humans for
Knowledge for
information.
knowledge.
Yep. So basically it's like, hey, you don't know how our bodies work or you want to get a more in-depth thing. Well, I'll let you can abduct like 100 people every year, every couple of years, and in return, you know, you'll just give us some information about flight and technology and radiation and all this other stuff. And I feel like it's all just being held in like a back catalog, and that's why all these military machines are like so fucking crazy and insane. Like you got fucking drones that can fly up to you like the size of a fucking wasp, scan your face, go to your forehead, and explode.
Yeah.
All within like 30 seconds.
Speaking of aliens, we were camping out in Natchez.
This dude was a tweaker. Don't believe any of this shit PJ says.
Noah was there, and he's telling us about his alien encounters, and we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's been abducted. He's been dropped off places, not known where he was, like crazy shit. And at this point, he had been, I think, 12 years sober-ish. So, like, you're like, okay, if this happened in the last couple of years, it's semi-feasible.
Yeah.
It's still a little out there because when you've met someone who was in hardcore addiction and is no longer in addiction anymore, they have tendencies that are a little different still.
Perma-fried.
Yeah. And so we take it with a grain of salt, but we're out in the middle of the woods, and he's got this light. And we're looking up at the stars, and we're watching what we thought were satellites moving around. But I guess satellites don't move around.
No, straight lines.
They go in straight lines. So we were watching satellites move in angular motions.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, what the fuck is that? And like, we weren't drinking because we were with my family. And he comes over and he's like, oh, those are aliens.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, okay. And he's like, no, watch. And we're like, all right. And he pulls this light out of his pocket. I don't know what the fuck it was. It had an orange, a red, and a white. You could change them, you could strobe them, and you could just flash them. So he's holding it up in the sky, and he flashes a pattern. And it was like say 4 flashes, pause, 3 flashes, pause, 2 flashes. So we're watching these things that are flying and not satellite, like, around. And one of them stops. And we're like, whoa. And then it flickers. The same pattern back. I'm dead serious. The same pattern. We're like, what the fuck is going on? And he was like, I told you they're aliens. And we're like, what do you mean? Like, you can't just say that and walk away. What are you talking about?
Yeah, fucking idiot. They're aliens, bro.
So then he starts telling us these stories about how he was abducted, how they tried to pick him up with is it a tractor beam?
Yeah.
With a tractor beam, and he got stuck to his ceiling and then dropped onto his bed, and then he went outside and then they took him. Like telling us,
my bad, bro. I'll go outside. My fault.
Oh, sorry. You tried to take me. We walk outside.
Alien technology, but they can't pick him up out of his house?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking crazy. But he's flashing these lights at these things, and then they're flashing back, and then this one would take off. And it wasn't like it would sit there and then it would slowly meander away. It was like it would sit there and then it would be like, gone.
I don't know. That's probably the most believable alien story I've heard.
It was fucking crazy. I have goosebumps. It was fucking crazy.
Let me tell you my perspective. This could be a billion other things. First off, ain't nothing fucking flashing in that goddamn sky.
Yes, there was.
Dude, I wanted to believe in aliens or something else so bad. At the time, I still believed in Santa Claus. So I was like, I gotta be able to, I gotta know. I need to know what's out there. And I'm looking in the fucking sky. Ain't shit happening, dude. You know how many stars are out there? How many satellites are out there? Right?
Satellites move in one direction, dude.
Yeah, satellites move in one direction. Guess what? Multiple satellites moving in a singular direction. You know how many stars are there? You're looking at thousands of dots in the sky. Your eye is going to misplace one and pick up another and think that's where it left off. You watch one satellite go right to left, and then he says something. You look at him. You look back up. Oh, you're looking at a different satellite now that's going up and down.
Bro, I swear to God.
No, okay.
You could watch the fucking one.
Okay, let's say it's not a satellite, right? You have space debris falling into the atmosphere, burning up. You have helicopters. You have airplanes. You have there's
helicopter ain't that high. And there's an commercial airplanes gonna fly in a circle above us and then flash lights at us.
Also, the dude's flashlight would be dissolved before.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. It's not. If you had a high powered laser,
Dispersed.
I'd get it, right? But dude, you point a flashlight at me from half a mile away, I can't see shit.
That's fair. I don't know, man. It was fucking crazy.
Not to mention. Yeah, now that I've been around a lot of tweakers who are high on just about everything, he was tweaking. I'm sorry, dude. I liked him, right? He's a nice guy, always really nice to us.
They're very convincing when
he was 100% tweaking. I've almost been convinced to let tweakers bring on fridges that they're trying to pawn onto my bus. So they can do a lot, I do not believe it though.
Dude, the craziest thing I've seen, a fridge is wild, but the craziest thing I've seen someone bring on the bus was a whole fucking roll of carpet.
I need this at home.
Dude, it was insane. It's you gotta do what you gotta do, but that's crazy work. And the bus driver's just I don't care.
That's crazy.
I'll have to give you an episode of just bus stories. I'll give you a quick one. This lady, Patty, got evicted out of her apartment because one of her feral cats was attacking people in the parking lot, so they evicted her. And she asked to use our bus as a moving service, which everybody said no, except one person. And then she just started only catching that one person's bus and would load up tables, chairs, desks, furniture, boxes, cats, cat litter, everything on this person's bus.
Holy shit.
It was insane. And she'd go straight down to Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity and then just drop it all off there. And then grab more stuff from Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity and then take it somewhere else.
I mean, that's a clutch bus driver, though. That's what I gotta say.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I respect it, but damn, that's insane. I would be scared of saying yes, but come right on. I don't fucking care.
That's crazy.
The amount of shits that bus drivers don't give is fucking insane.
They get paid whether you bring that carpet on or not, So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I remember I've had bus drivers that be I don't care if you fucking pay, just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah,
and I've had bus drivers be you only paid $1.25. You got stubble. When's your birthday? And it's dude, I'll just give you another $1. It's okay. Fucking A, bro.
That's wild.
The whole spectrum of people that drive buses. Most of them are fairly nice, but you get those ones that are occasional. I remember busing from fucking Bothell to Kirkland. It is one bus stop away that I would take, but it's across county lines. They made me pay the cross county fee
That's
Really?
crazy.
on top of the bus fee.
Wow.
I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "It's literally the next stop. Like,
yeah.
I have to cross the county. I don't get an option.
Yeah.
Like, so how is that fair?" He's like, "That's just the rules."
That's crazy.
The last thing I gotta say on bus antics to tie back into our conspiracies is that I've seen a couple too many birds hanging out the GSA building in front of the government service
Oh,
building.
birds aren't real, dude.
I'm
Birds
just saying
are
it's
real.
kind of interesting.
I think birds of prey are real. I don't think little birds are real.
No, birds are real. You're crazy.
I don't think they are, dude. You go to different states, they got different sound boxes. How does that make sense? It's the same bird.
I mean, you're a human. You go to Minnesota, you're gonna have a different accent.
Yeah, but they're still speaking the same language.
You don't speak bird?
Yeah, but if there's say you got a crow out here and they're going caw caw because that's what they do, and then you go to Oklahoma and they go chirp. The fuck did that crow just say? That's not the same,
I've never heard a crow chirp.
dude. That's what I'm saying. They're fake.
No, they're not fake. They're actually spy drones, not drones. They're spies controlled by HAARP. You know what HAARP is?
No.
I forget what the acronym is.
like
If you
the
want to pull that
instrument?
up, Noah. But no, it's a weather device used to it's like a weather
I
seeding
got
device
you.
that shoots.
It is the High Frequency Active Oral Research Program.
And what is it supposed to do?
Auroral, sorry. And it is focusing on the ionospheric process. It is used as a high-power radio transmitter.
Yeah, so they shoot radio waves up in the sky to try to fucking fuck with the weather. And what it actually does is it fucks us with the electromagnetic sensors that birds have in their brains. Because, like birds, they know where south is, right?
Yeah.
They fly south for the winter. They return home. Fucking pigeons will literally fly and come home. Like, that is like their thing. That's why we use them as fucking carriers in World War One and all these different wars. Fucking on a separate tangent, there's like a pigeon who got the Medal of Honor because he got shot like 6 fucking times and still fucking delivered the goddamn message.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so they're just using HAARP to control the birds, and then inside the birds, they've implanted little tiny fucking cameras, and those are just watching you. They're real.
That's crazy. That's why I said birds aren't real. I think they're all robots.
Nah, cyborgs.
Yeah.
Cyborgs.
Yeah.
Not quite a robot.
This fit in the same genre.
I mean, you tell that to a cyborg, I bet you get pretty mad. I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
All right, shut up, C-3PO. Fuck. Yeah.
On that, if you guys want to look into it a little more, are you familiar with the European starling?
Vaguely.
No.
There's currently, they started as like 5 European starlings that they brought over for what was it? It was Romeo and Juliet in the early days of the United States. They brought them over for a play, and then they just let them free. And now we have about 200 million.
Holy
Like the bird?
Yes.
Okay.
The vast majority of small little birds that you see on these power lines out here are European starlings, right? They're extremely invasive.
That's crazy.
But this also leaves a great guise for government surveillance through a bird that isn't from our area.
You've heard about how, like, in New York, they had a really bad mouse problem, right?
Yeah.
And so they ended up releasing a bunch of owls.
Oh, yeah, now they have an owl problem.
Now they have an owl problem.
Yeah, I
They
did read about that.
release a bunch of owls
Yeah.
to try to fucking deal with the mice problem. And then you got a bunch of owls just fucking shitting everywhere and eating all the fucking small animals, fucking up the ecosystem. Good shit.
Crazy.
I don't know. There's not too many like actual conspiracy theories that I can fucking think of off the top of my head. Like there's a couple of them in Mandela effects. There's
a lot in animes and stuff like that, but
what's like the codename Kids Next Door theory
Yeah.
where everyone's just fucking dead.
yeah, everyone's dead. They're in heaven or something like that.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember.
There's another one that's like that too.
Like all cartoons are dead.
Ed, Ed and Eddie. Ed and Eddie was they're all dead
Yeah, Ed and Eddie all being dead.
because you don't have any parents.
What was the Mr. Mime one that you were talking about?
So in Pokemon. So I don't know if you guys are Pokemon nerds or not. I am a Pokemon nerd. Not like extremely, but heavily. I don't know all of it, but I know most of it. So Ash is this figure of everyone knows who he is. Everyone loves him. The
Jesus.
Pokemon say that he is the chosen one, or he's in the what's the word? It's the end of the second movie. The Slowpoke King talks to him through mind waves,
Oh yeah, sure.
and supposedly you're not supposed to be able to do that. Pokemon aren't supposed to be able to talk to you.
Like Lugia.
Yeah. But there's those 6 legendaries or whatever that can, or something like that. I don't know. But the lore behind it was that Ash's mom is Ash's mom. Ash's dad is Mr. Mime. And he was the chosen one. And that is
I'm
why...
sorry. I could not imagine being underneath a Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
Like, just getting railed and you're just looking up and you're like, Mime!
I thought, no.
Mime.
I think you're mixing the two up.
Mime.
You're mixing the two up because the one that I saw was like, you know how Arceus is God?
Yeah.
Ash's mom is just this version of the Virgin Mary, and Arceus blessed her with the prophet Ash to be
That
born.
could fit in. I mean,
That's a
it's
good
the
one.
same-
I think that one tracks a lot
Yeah.
better, in my opinion.
It's still birthed from a Pokemon, which is why
Not-
he's the master of Pokemon.
not really.
Or not birthed from.
Would
but
you say that God fucked
conceived.
the Virgin Mary? I don't think you would say.
conceived of a Pokemon?
So is Ash's dad just non-existent then? Like,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never hear about him. There's not one story that I can recall about Ash's dad.
he died in the Great Pokemon War.
Yeah, something like that.
Speaking
Fuck,
of
I
which,
don't know.
those Pokemon went to fucking battle.
Yeah.
You have like Lieutenant Surge. He talks about his Pokemon being in fights with him all the fucking time. I could not imagine you just fucking like
you
got
ever in
like
Vietnam with a fucking Pikachu?
dude, like imagine running through like a fucking field or something and just all of a sudden a fucking like
You know,
butterfly
Onyx.
goes over you and just sprays like a
Yeah.
little fucking poison
Chemical
powder on
warfare
you.
with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Or you're flying on the back of a Pidgeotto to go into battle and you're dropping grenades and all of a sudden a fucking like Electrobuzz is just
it's
fucking
fried out of the
electrocutes
sky.
you out of the fucking sky.
You got Dig Dugs just popping up everywhere instead of mines.
And we already know Pokemon are willing to hurt people
yeah,
because fucking they were fucking up Ash in the
Yeah.
first episode.
and that was something that was a. I also read there's a treaty or something like that between the Pokemon and the humans.
What kind of shit do you read?
Who is
A lot of
what
weird shit.
Pokemon is signing this fucking treaty?
I don't know, but there was a treaty, and there's not supposed to be any violence between the two, so that like breaks the treaty. But the whole first episode or whatever is like Ash getting fucked by Pokemon.
I've never heard of anything like a treaty
It's something like
before.
that. I just can't remember.
Because it's like Noah said, what fucking Pokemon signing a goddamn treaty?
I'm like, there's not. You can't like. Arceus would be the only Pokemon that could
Yeah.
actually do that. But it's like,
But if you think of it in the figure that Arceus is the creator of all in the Pokemon universe, it would
Is
make
Arceus
sense.
like literally the god?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be.
Or is it just the god of Pokemon?
No, he's supposed to be the god, at least from what I remember.
Okay.
He was the creator of all, or something.
yep, he's
like
the
that.
creator god in the Pokemon universe.
That's insane. And you can capture him?
Yeah,
How
And
fucking
some
blasphemous
not
is that?
not in English. You could You could capture him in the Japanese version.
Okay.
You had to have hacks to catch him in American version.
My whole thing is like, if Arceus is the creator god, right? Why would he create 1 billion lines that can beat every Pokemon? You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because
fair.
1 billion lines is a lot of lines. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
Wait, what?
Oh, well, what wins, Kevin? 1 billion lines or one of every Pokemon?
Oh. 1 billion lions is a lot of fucking
Yeah.
lions.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
But
Lion
in that
ball.
universe, is there lions? I would think it's just Pokemon.
We're not talking about what universe we're in.
That's
We're just
fair.
saying 1 billion lions.
1 billion
versus
lines, a lot of
every
lines,
single
dude.
Pokemon. How many Pokemon are there? There's like 1,000.
There's over
and like
1,000 now.
I think it was like 1,600 is what we looked at.
Yeah, but there's like the fridge Pokemon and like
They did get pretty lazy with the
Okay,
last
well, like,
generation.
I mean, how is a lion gonna fuck up an Onyx?
That's
An
very
Onyx is
true.
just a rock.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. You might lose that.
lion ball. What do you mean? Yeah, it's a rock. What happens if you know, if I have a string of rocks and I apply force in the middle, it's gonna break.
Yeah,
if
but
I gotta-
you don't know that's another thing. Wouldn't Onyx technically be a psychic Pokemon as well to hold himself together?
No.
Because there's no joints. When you look at him, he's just balls stacked on top of each other.
There's only 1,025 Pokemon, by the way.
1,025.
Yes.
I think they just broke that with the newest gen.
1 billion.
This is Google here. They don't count regional. So we don't count like Alolan Pikachu as a
yeah.
different Pokemon.
Brother, I don't know, man. That's bonkers.
Another one I heard.
A billion lions is a lot of fucking lions.
Another one with Pokemon that I heard was that Ditto is actually a failed attempt at Rockets making Mew.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I didn't hear about it specifically being the Rockets, but I did hear about how Ditto was Mew. They're the only two Pokemon, I believe, that know transform.
Yep. They have the same exact weight, the same height.
I could see that a lot.
Yeah. And they're both pink.
Sure.
Purple.
Are they purple?
I wouldn't say they're pink.
Like Mew is like a pale
They're
pinkish.
super pale pink.
And then Ditto can be purple
It's
or pink.
purplish, yeah.
I'd say that's purple, dude.
Look it up. Look up what color is Ditto.
Hold on.
Hit real simple.
Look, that's purple.
It's purple. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on Astronauts Without Podcast. I just want to say thank you so much for being here for the last month. It's meant a lot to PJ and I and Noah working hard behind the scenes. We've put a lot of time and effort into this. I know you guys probably haven't seen me live if you're following me on Twitch very much. A lot of our effort's been going to this podcast. And again, we're just so thankful for everybody who's taking the time out of their day to leave a comment, to check us out on TikTok, to watch a video full through completion. It helps so much.
It does.
So thank you. We really appreciate it. We're going to try our hardest to keep delivering content. Hopefully the episode with Biv, since it's not released by the time of this recording, does well. We want to do more of the interview style.
The interview
I think
was really fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. I think we could interview a couple people. If you have streamers that you want us to interview, send us their links. We'll reach out to them.
You reach out to them too.
Reach out to them
if they
too.
hear from both sides, it's more likely to happen.
Yeah, it's super cool. We have a couple people already in the pipeline. Yeah, it's going to be good shit. We appreciate you guys being here. We've spent a lot of time making this work, and you guys have spent a lot of your free time. And it means a lot that with how busy the world is, that you guys can just take maybe 45 minutes to an hour to hang out with us.
Definitely.
So thank you for being here. We really appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Podcast out.